Hi there. My name is Cale Williams. I'm a reporter with the Oregonian Oregon Live. I'm here with Andy Bryant of the National Weather Service to talk a little bit about how we got where we are with the snow in Portland, what we're seeing currently, and what we can expect for the next couple days. Andy, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to be here. As you can tell, I'm not in the office today. I'm working from home, but we've got a whole crew of folks in the office, and I am trying to help out where I can, working from home today, and glad to be with you.
Yeah, we're in similar positions. I'm also at home. If we had a wider shot, you'd see that I'm wearing sweatpants. But
there you go.
that's not why we're here today. So we got what seems like a decent amount of snow overnight, and then it's been pretty much snowing all day where I am in southeast Portland. So stepping back a little bit, I was wondering if you could kind of walk us through the weather pattern that set us up to get this relatively rare kind of precipitation here in Portland.
It is rare for us. It's hard for us to get snow in Portland because of our proximity to the ocean. And we had the situation set up where we've got really cold air east of the Cascades. Probably a lot of people have heard over the past several days, the polar vortex over the upper Midwest, and that cold air has extended into Montana and Idaho, and over the last couple of days down into the Columbia Basin east of the Cascades. And then what happened, that's kind of our classic situation to get snow right in Portland Metro and Southwest Washington, is that we had low pressure with a storm system coming in off the Pacific, and you've got higher pressure at the surface east of the Cascades. And so what happens is the air wants to balance out, and so it comes through the Columbia Gorge. We've had really strong east winds the last couple days through the gorge. That brings cold air into Portland metro area and Southwest Washington, and then we've got the moisture coming in with that low pressure system that brings our precipitation, and it's been a whole mix of precipitation here in the Portland metro area. Mostly snow, but I know during the day yesterday, a lot of people saw freezing rain. We had some road problems with the freezing rain that happened. And then south and west of Portland, where that cold air it's not as deep. With that cold air, you got more freezing rain in places like Salem and the Coast Range, and even some communities along the North Coast.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that, because I know that, we do our daily weather posts. You guys put out daily weather products. All the TV guys do it too. And sometimes, the forecast can be all over the map, anywhere from trace amount to some people were saying we were going to get 5 inches overnight. I got, a little bit less than an inch at my house. And then they were saying there was going to be a break today and we were going to get another dose overnight. But for me, it's been snowing all day. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about some of the challenges of predicting this kind of stuff. I know we hear it from readers all the time when you said one thing and we got another. And so can you talk a little bit about, I don't know whether it's, the jet stream or the topography around here. What are some of the challenges that you have in making forecasts for the Portland area?
Right. Yeah, we wish it was easier, and it just pretty much never fails that there's something that goes a little sideways. Big picture, the low pressure system that was coming in yesterday that was going to give us that initial shot of snow, it tracked a little bit farther south than the models were initially saying. And so that meant for here in the Portland metro area that we just didn't get much precipitation. It was, a lot of light freezing rain and light snow, and it wasn't enough to really start accumulating much. And so, yesterday at this time, we were thinking that by the time you woke up this morning, we would have anywhere from 2 to 6 inches in Portland metro. And that didn't happen. We had more like a half an inch to an inch around Portland metro. We did end up, though, with quite a bit more freezing rain down in places like Salem and McMinnville than we were thinking. So that is the result of that low pressure tracking a little bit farther south, and we just didn't have as much the moisture up here. And then, today it's just ended up where a lot of times with these large scale weather patterns, there will be smaller scale details that end up, the saying the devil is in the details definitely applies with the weather. And so we've just had this band of precipitation that is something that our models, they're not going to resolve a lot of the fine details 24 to 48 hours out. And so it's just ended up that through the day today, we've had the light precipitation. And so basically what we thought was going to happen overnight is what's ended up happening through a lot of the day today. My home is up in Battleground, north of Portland, the city of Portland, and we're up to about 2 inches here. So, and I think a lot of people in the Portland metro area now, with the snow that's fallen during the day, are up to 1 to 2 inches.
Yeah, we've got at least that much at my place. It feels like more, but I haven't been out a whole bunch because it's pretty chilly. So seeing as how the stuff, it sounds like the stuff that you thought was going to come tonight has come a little earlier, does that mean that we won't see that 3 to 6 inches overnight that I know you guys were calling for earlier in the day?
No, we're still looking at a significant shot of precipitation tonight, and it's in some ways it's a good thing that it's going into a holiday weekend. If this was going to happen on a weekday, it'd have really major impacts on transportation throughout Northwest Oregon and the Portland metro area. We've got another storm system moving in this evening, and it's packing quite a bit more moisture than the one that we had last night and early today. And so we are looking at the potential for anywhere probably from 4 to 8 inches of snow in the Portland area. One of the big questions with this one is how much of Northwest Oregon is going to see freezing rain. That could be a really major issue. What it looks like is that it'll be the freezing rain will be mainly south and west of so places like Salem, McMinnville, areas of the Coast Range, and possibly even coastal communities like Tillamook and Astoria could see anywhere from 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of ice, and maybe even more in some spots. And it, potentially could be enough ice to start causing problems with trees and power lines. We'll see how it plays out, but that's definitely a concern. We have an ice storm warning in effect for portions of the central Willamette Valley and up into the Coast Range. So, but here right in the city of Portland, it's going to be mostly snow. Areas on the south and west side of Portland Metro could see a mix of snow and frozen precipitation. It's just, what happens is it's all about this depth of the cold air. It might be 20 degrees or 25 degrees at the surface, but it's a matter of how deep does that go up into the atmosphere. That's what determines whether you're going to have snow or sleet or freezing rain. And that's not, as the storm system moves in, that those boundaries between snow, sleet, and freezing rain are going to waver some. So, places like Oregon City or Beaverton could very well see a mix of snow and sleet and freezing rain. Places like Salem and McMinnville more likely to see mostly or all freezing rain. And then you go farther south, Corvallis could see a mix of freezing rain and rain. At this point, it looks like from Eugene southward, it'll just be all rain.
Gotcha. So depending where you are, you should just be prepared for anything. And by prepared, I mean stay inside if you can.
Yep. Yeah, I think, from like downtown Portland northward, it seems like it'll be mostly or all snow. But yeah, once you get south of downtown, it could be really messy.
Gotcha. Yeah, nobody likes an ice storm. And I just remind our viewers, this is Cale Williams with the Oregonian Oregon Live. I'm here with Andy Bryant from the National Weather Service, talking about the snow and the weather in Portland and areas surrounding. We've got a bunch of stories up on our website, OregonLive.com, including road conditions and power outages and closures and all that good stuff, if you're looking for that information. Andy, I'm curious, how long are we going to be going through this? What are we looking like over the next several days?
Yeah, it will end. Saturday is going to be just continued cold. Areas south of Portland could see some break from freezing temperatures, but at most it'll get into the mid 30s at, like Salem, Woodburn, McMinnville, right in Portland and up through like Vancouver and Longview, Kelso. It's going to stay below freezing on Saturday. So you won't really see much in the way of melt. And the precipitation will probably continue, like light snow showers or freezing rain showers through the day, Saturday, and even into Sunday morning. It does look like we will start to moderate on Sunday. A lot of Portland Metro and areas to the south and west will be well into the 30s, probably upper 30s on Sunday afternoon and evening. The closer you are to the Columbia Gorge, the slower it's going to be for us to get out of it, which for folks who have lived, in places like Troutdale or Gresham or Washougal in years past when we've had similar winter storms, that you're the last part of the metro area to moderate. And so it looks like in those areas, we could see periods of freezing rain or sleet or snow Sunday night and Monday. We do have another storm. We have another storm system that moves in Sunday night and Monday, and so we could see a mix of precipitation at that western end of the gorge. And then, thinking about in the gorge and over towards Hood River, that'll be the last area to moderate, probably Monday or Monday night. So like in Hood River, they're going to be piling up the snow all the way through the weekend. And there's places in the Hood River Valley that will probably end up with, a couple of feet or more of snow out of this.
Gotcha. That seems like a pretty well-rounded analysis of what we've been through, what's going on now, and what's on the way. We've got a couple questions in the comments about the timing of all this. And I'm so curious if you can just give us kind of like, bullet points of, when we should expect these different things. And I know it'll be different depending on where you are, but sort of, 30,000 foot view, what are the next 24 hours going to look like?
Yeah. A lot of snow here in Portland is what it's going to look like. And, I'm looking at my window right now and it keeps coming down. And the expectation is that this evening and overnight tonight, so we're talking, from like 5 p.m. on through the early morning hours of Saturday, we could see heavy snow at times in Portland Metro and up into Clark County and up towards Longview and Kelso. At that same time, this evening and overnight tonight, areas to the south could get quite a bit of freezing rain and ice accumulation. It's already cold down there. These places are anywhere from like 27 to 30 degrees at places like Salem and McMinnville. So, it's cold enough to snow there. They're like, why isn't it snowing? Well, it's just because it's very shallow at near the ground surface. Above that, it's warmer. So this evening and overnight tonight is going to be the period of heaviest precipitation, and then it's kind of iffy as to how long that continues into Saturday, but probably similar conditions for at least the first half of Saturday as to what we're seeing right now with light to moderate snow and freezing rain in the area. And then it'll taper off, just light snow showers at times Saturday night and Sunday, and then temperatures will start to warm up again Sunday afternoon.
Gotcha. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for us. I'll let you get back to trying your best to predict when and how the precipitation will fall around the area. Once again, I'm Cale Williams with the Oregonian Oregon Live. I've been here with Andy Bryant of the National Weather Service. Anything else that I haven't asked about that I should have, Andy?
Yeah, I'm just seeing in the comments, what about my location? And I just encourage people to go to weather.gov. You can get to the website for our Portland office, and you can get a point location for your spot, whether you're in Astoria or in Sandy or down in Wilsonville. I know, the details of where you are going to vary across Northwest Oregon. So to get the specifics for your location, just start at weather.gov.
And while we're plugging our employers, I will say that you can also head to OregonLive.com, where we've got lots of stories about closures, road conditions, forecasts, all that stuff. So please visit both of those sites. Start at weather.gov, then head on over to OregonLive.com, and you should be all set. Thanks again, Andy. I really appreciate it.
Glad to be with you. Thanks.